Greetings, everybody. Welcome today to Keys to Your Best Life. I am your host, Maggie Cavanaugh, and I have an amazing sister in Christ with me today. I have Miss Donna Anderson. She is an amazing
Everybody.
author, speaker, all of that good stuff. She moves in the prophetic. I absolutely love this woman, and we've got some tips for you today on how to deal with transition, because transition can be tough. Welcome to the broadcast.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the invite. I
Oh,
wish you'd
yes,
been
I
on the
was so
other end of this.
on the other end of this. That's because she has a broadcast called Girl Chat. And I was honored to be a guest on her show. And I appreciate that, Donna. Many people that you know have been on her show. And and, she moves in the profession. She has all of these things, years of ministry and so forth. So, Donna, in this season of your life, you've got a lot going on, girl.
I do. I was like, God, can I handle all of this? I keep hearing them say, I won't put more on you than what you can bear.
That's right. Yes.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's like, okay, God, if you put it on me, obviously I'm able to do whatever you ask me to do.
Isn't that the truth? And I love the fact that she's relying on scripture, because it does tell us that he won't put us under more than we can bear. Sometimes though, we're feeling like, this is it. I can't take no more.
That's how I felt when Lisa and Lisa told me about Girl Chat. The story of Girl Chat and how it started. I was on Lisa's show, Power Fuel Living, and we had done an episode, and I came out, and I was in my room at her house. I call it my room. Everybody else can come visit, but that's my room. And God said, Girl Chat is yours. And I was like, huh? Because we were laughing about it, and because the episode was just a little girl chat. And so I started Girl Chat, and has been going for almost 3 years. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's been almost 3 years.
That's a long time. I didn't realize it had been so long.
Yeah.
I love the
this seemed like it
format.
was yesterday.
Yeah. I love the format because it's just so appropriate. It's Girl Chat. It's like what we're doing right now. It's like, women of God talking, chatting, sharing stories and encouragement. So that's awesome. Now tell the viewers where they can find that.
Okay, Girl Chat comes on. It's on my ministerial page. It's Girl, Let Me Tell You Ministries. I know. When I say that, everybody goes, huh? I'm like, girl, I can tell you some stuff that I've been through, And so it's Girl, Let Me Tell You Ministries. It's Monday night, and we're changing the time because I've actually changed time zones. And so we're trying to think if it's going to be 6:30 or 7. So be looking for us on Monday night between 6:30 and 7. I'm kind of taking a poll. So if you happen to see this, let me know what's the best time for Girl Chat for you.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you that are wondering, what is Girl Chat? Basically, it is a broadcast like this where she interviews people and they chat about various topics. I think when I was on your show, we talked about the love of God.
The love of the Father. And then I've had, we talked about something else the last time, but I know the love of the Father. And then you were transitioning into marriage, or something was going on that we were transitioning.
Going on 6 years. Yeah.
So, but I'm saying there was a lot of things that we've talked about. I've talked about women abuse. I've talked about abuse in the church. I've talked about the political realm of what's going on in the church. It's whatever subject that you want to talk about. I think I've kind of hit it at Girl Chat. So if you want to go listen, go to my homepage or my religious page, or what do you call it?
Your Facebook ministry page?
Your Facebook, Facebook. I can't talk today. Ministry page, and it's up on the Girl Let Me Tell You Ministries, and you can just go watch some of the videos.
Excellent. Make sure you like it, share it, and get it out to your friends as well as this. Because today, she had a book called Dress for Battle. It's all about spiritual warfare and the armor of God, and that's available on Amazon. But today we're going to talk about some of those things because you recently transitioned. and you transitioned from one state to another. And like you said, even different time zones. So I know you got some keys for us today. What are those keys? I know you got 3 of them. So y'all got pen and paper.
You know, when I was transitioning, I learned that you don't make steps until you get counsel. And I know in Proverbs 11 and 14 says, where there is no counsel, the people fall or fail. But in a multitude of counsel, there is safety. Yes. And that's what I did. Before I even decided that I was going to make this major move, I sought counsel.
Smart.
You know, and I went and asked, hey, you know, what do you guys think about this? And what do you think about that? And these are people that I know that have given me good counsel before. It wasn't one of those Joes on the street or those Sallys on the street that I just met. These are people that have been in my life for a long period of time. They've been through battles with me. They have fought with me. And I know that I can trust their word and I can trust their wise counsel. And so that's what I did. I went and asked questions. Hey, what do you think I should do about this? Or what do you think, you know, do you think this is a good idea? You know, and that's what I did because the Lord had told me last year sometime. He says, well, my kids were like, Mom, you need to move. And I'm like, no, the Lord has not released me yet. And that's what I kept telling them. The Lord has not released me yet. You need to move. No, the Lord has not released me yet. And then my doctor told me, Donna, you need to move to a warmer climate. Ding, 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 ding. You know, and that's kind of how I was like, okay, God, all right, in your timing. So I was just waiting for his timing. I came to visit, got stuck in the coronavirus situation, went from Oklahoma because I have a conference every year called Swigget. And I had came for a business meeting for Swigget that was supposed to head in July. We canceled it because of the coronavirus. And so I was here, only supposed to be here for a week. And
you bought a house.
Here,
so you bought a house.
Yeah, I bought a house. Because it was so funny, but it was God's timing because he knew he had to put me, you know how a baby bird don't want to get out of the nest, so to speak. God was like, okay, you know what? I know my daughter, so just let me, you know.
It's like that mama bird grabs it and takes it out and just drops it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I felt like God did to me, you know. And so that, you know, that reminded me of Elijah, and you know, and he was sitting up on the tree and everything, you know, the ravens were feeding him, and you know, I was comfortable where I was at, you know, and I was good, and then everything started drying up and stuff started happening, and I'm like, you know, and so I had to walk out on faith. I had to start walking. But the thing is, when I started walking, people started providing for me.
Oh.
People started providing for me because I'm like, God, but I don't have the money to move. I don't have the money it's not like I've saved up a whole lot of money to be able to move. I'm not moving from one state to another. I'm moving across country. From Washington State to Texas is cross country. And that cost a lot of money. And I'm like, but God, don't worry about it, daughter. And he did me like Elijah. Elijah went to the widow woman and was like, hey, you know, I understand that you're in a drought. I understand what's going on. But before you make yours, make mine. And that's what he did for me. And I'm still in awe of the things that he did because people just gave me money. People just, oh, don't worry about it. I got this taken care of.
Wow. What a testimony of God's goodness and faithfulness. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And that, you know, I sit back and I tell a lot of single women, I said, you guys hold on. Because not only did I buy a house one day, but I also bought a brand new Cadillac the same day.
What? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. feeling like, God, what? Because it was in God's timing. Because God knew that I needed a car here. And so my seller that that I bought the house from, don't worry about it, I got you. He took me to some place where he knew someone that owned a car dealership. And I was just like, so God has provided for me. And and I'm like, well, God, are you sure? I felt like Naaman, where when Elijah told me go dip in the water go dip in the Jordan 7 times. And you're like, but God, people don't buy houses and cars when there's a pandemic going on. They just don't do that kind of stuff when there's an issue going on. And I'm not saying that it's been easy, because it went to the point of I had to call certain ones, and I got a group of ladies that I knew that could pray. And I text them and I said, hey, you guys, I need you guys to stand in the gap for me. As going back to seeking wise counsel, but I need you guys to stand in the gap for me, and I need you to fight for me.
That's good.
I need you to pray for me, and I need you to fight for me, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm listening to God, but I'm scared. But God, that was one of those situations of a but God. And that was the end of it. That was all there was to it, is a but God. And I have to walk this out.
So good. So it goes back to that wise counsel, and along with that wise counsel of people that will pray for you and stand in the gap during times of transition. So that's number one. What's number two?
Okay. You have to obey him no matter if it looks crazy to you.
That's a big one.
Because he's going to tell you to do some crazy stuff. Like when I was down, like I said, I had came here and I was waiting, and like the day I ended up finding the house, me and my daughter was going down the street, and she says, Mom, why don't you go in this neighborhood and look for a house? And I'm like, why? I'm not getting ready to move. I'm going to rent. And then, I'll save up some money and buy later. She's like, oh, Mom, let's go through this neighborhood. That's crazy. So I ride through the neighborhood and I see this beautiful home that have the Spanish arches. And I'm like, oh, my God. And so I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. And so I'm riding out the neighborhood, and she goes, why don't you go check out the model home? Why? But that was crazy to me. So I stop and I go to the model home and I look at it and I go, oh my God, this is beautiful. And he tells me how much my mortgage would be. And I go, huh? You mean my mortgage would be cheaper than what I'm paying for rent here? Wow. But to me, it was crazy for me to even go into a model home, because these home prices out here where I live at, I was like, God, I cannot afford that. That was crazy to me. I mean, honestly, that was crazy, so he was having me do some stuff that I thought was crazy, but it was his will for me to do it. And even when I walked into the model home and the seller goes, well, you have to run your credit. And I'm like, me, Donna in the flesh, was saying, no. Even though I have been working on it and building my credit up, you guys work on your credit. You'd be shocked of what you can do, and just keep plowing on it and working on it. And when I was approved that day, the same day. I was like, oh my God. So God had me do some crazy things. I thought that was crazy for me to stop. I thought it was crazy for me. So you guys, when God has you to do things, and it's his blessings, and it's what he really wants you to do, he'll bless you. He'll give you everything that you need.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So one is to seek wise counsel. 2 is to obey God. What do you got for 3?
What I'm doing right now, I'm walking it out.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
I'm walking it out. I'm just doing what he tells me to do at the time he tells me to do it, because even when I was in the process of getting the house and buying the house and everything, and everybody kept telling me, you need to go back to Washington State and get that cleared, but God wouldn't release me. And I kept telling them, no, not yet, no, not yet, no, not yet. And it was some things that happened in Texas that I had needed to have been here to take care of it like I did. And if I had went on and went, then I would have been out of order.
Wow.
And then God, and then when he did release me to go, he blessed me with people just giving me finances. I mean, people were like, no problem. I got you. I got you. I got you. And that's one of the reasons that I knew this was a God move.
Yeah, when people start giving you money to fulfill what God has asked them to do, that's a good indication.
Yeah, that it's a God thing for real. That really is a God thing. And another thing, when we first took a picture of the house, my address is 5003 La Pedra Lane. And La Pedra means the rock.
Ooh. I love that. I have a friend that lives on Gray Street, so I love the rock.
Yeah, the rock. And there was a beaming light shining down on the address.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So God will give you signs that you know that, okay, this is what he wants me to do. And he will bless you. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm walking this thing out in faith. Because I'm like, God, I tell the single women, if I can do it, because me and God had made this covenant a long time ago when I was in the military, that I would stay in the military until my baby daughter graduated from high school. And after that, I would go full-time ministry. And he told me if I went full-time ministry, he would take care of me. And so I was going in the military, and when I got hurt and
Uh-oh. I can't hear you.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. You're back.
Okay.
You're back.
My last day in the military, well, my last day before I went on transitional leave was my daughter's actual graduation date.
Oh, wow.
And my last day in the military was my actual birthday. I'm like, God, you got you. So when he tells you to do something, he's going to bless you with it. And so after all that's said and done, he still blessed me where I'm just walking it out now. I'm walking it out. And I know it might seem strange to other people, but you guys be encouraged. Be encouraged.
Yes.
Be encouraged to know that if God told you to do something, he's going to put his blessings on it.
Yeah.
Even though you might not see it, you're looking like this, and he's like, daughter, open your eyes and look. He'll put your blessings on it.
That's so good.
He'll put his blessings on it. That's one of the things that that if you needed that fleece to get wet, so to speak, and you kept putting the fleece out there, his fleece is he blesses what he says that he's going to do, or what he wants you to do. If it's him, he'll bless it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the timing thing. Sometimes God will ask you to do something, but it's not yet the timing thing. And it sounds like you were in perfect rhythm at the right place at the right time when God spoke, and then used your doctor to confirm it. Hey, you need to get, and I will tell you, a warm requirement on our bodies that are changing is definitely a wise move. Medicinally. So I want to thank you for your service in the military. Tell the viewers what branch you were in.
I was in the Army, and everybody goes, but you're too prissy to be in the Army. And I'm like, really, you guys? You know, Army does have some ladies that are prissy, you know, but we know how to be soldiers. You know,
That's
after
right.
it's all done and over with, we know how to take off the uniform and be our feminine, prissy little selves.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, what a story of triumph. 3 steps, y'all, that will help you in times of transition. One, to seek wise counsel. And it is true, out of the multitude of counselors. And that is one of the things that, people are like, well, I don't want somebody to tell me what to do. You lay it out there, let them pray and hear from God, because that's what she did. She got her team, her tribe, her people to do that. And it paid off for her. And then also being obedient to God. And then you got to walk it out. You got to trust God in the midst of the battle. So if you are looking for a book basically on spiritual warfare, go to Amazon and check out her book, Dress for Battle. I love that, because she's a soldier in the military, but she's also a soldier in the kingdom. And that's amazing. So Donna, if I was to ask you to leave the viewers with one key of something for a successful life, or, a quote or a scripture or anything to encourage them, what would that be?
One of the things that I used to say all the time, and I've said it many a times, is today is the tomorrow that you were worried about yesterday.
That's good. Say it again.
Today is the tomorrow that you were worried about yesterday. So today is going to take care of itself. And you just have to believe God that God is going to do what he said he's going to do.
That's so good. And it reminds me of the scripture that says, do not worry about tomorrow, for it has enough worry of its own. Stay in the moment, stay in the day. And that's where we get overwhelmed, is when we get out in front of God. So, wow, Donna, that was absolutely wonderful. I want y'all to check her out on Girl Chat. Check out her book. The name of her ministry is Girl, Let Me Tell You. I love that name because it's so real.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody that have met me, they go, that's perfect for you.
It is perfect for you.
It is so me. Is that what you said?
Yes, it is perfect for you. It is, because it's real and it's relatable. Here's the thing. We hear a lot of fluffy stuff, but we need strong, encouraging words from a warrior. Soldier in the natural, soldier in the spiritual realm. So, Donna, I want to thank you for being on the broadcast. I'm so excited for the doors that God is opening for you and will continue to open. Make sure that you keep us informed of what's going on.
And I will.
Yes, because that's exciting stuff. I have a lot of single friends that are in transition, and I'm a firm believer that you just keep working on the best you can be while God is in the midst of things. So this is definitely time for you.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys.
Wrong one. Do it every time. Every time. I want you guys to make sure that you get this out to your friends. Get this out to your friends that might be in transition, have things going on in their life. They need a word of encouragement. Donna, thank you so much.
All right. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless viewers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.